Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1, Episode 8. It is called The Battle. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. So this episode delves into Picard's past a little bit, also brings back the Ferengi.
Yes, it's the backstory episode.
Yes. We say that as if it's only just be one. I'm sure there's a lot of Picard's backstory we're going to get to.
Yeah, but this is the first main one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's very specific though. It's like one specific thing. It's just a one specific
Yeah.
incident, which is this encounter that happened with a Ferengi vessel about 10 years ago, whatever it was, on the Stargazer, which was Picard's ship at the time, and he was captain, and he did a maneuver that is now referred to in the Academy as the Picard maneuver, where he made the ship go to warp speed right in front of the other ship. The idea being that because it was in warp speed at such a close distance, it appeared as if the ship was in two places for just a second, and the ship fired on the other, the after image, if you will, of the Stargazer, and
Yeah.
then they swooped in for the kill. Um,
Doesn't really make sense to me, this maneuver.
Go on.
I mean, like you said, it's an after image, so that's where it was. Then you see it appear in the second place, because I assume the point is they're confused and they have to decide which one to shoot at. It's a 50-50 choice, right? Not, oh, they're already targeting that one, but we've gone.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you just not target the newer one?
Well, it's only a second. I assume it's such a quick thing that it is more just they're already targeted on the other one, as opposed to.
Oh, I felt like there was dialogue in this that implied more. Oh, it's a 50-50 chance still. But I mean, maybe I'm
I never got the
misreading it.
impression that it's long enough where they have to decide, like, because I feel like you would just go for the newer one if it was a decision.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, so that's how I read it anyway. But Picard starts getting kind of ill. He starts getting headaches early on, and there's some weird. At one point, they imply that headaches are very rare now. Because Crusher's like, a headache, Captain? And he's like, yeah, it's a headache. Sure, you know what a headache is. Well, yeah, I do, but I don't really encounter them that much. And I'm like,
Yeah, it goes beyond implication. There's a point where she goes straight and says, "No, people don't get headaches anymore. That if they do, there's something seriously wrong with their brain."
oh yeah, that's later in the episode though. You always do this. I always go through it in the order that they present the information to you.
It depends on the information. When it's something like, oh, they imply headaches or not, but something like that, you just go to what it is. No. The plot itself, fine.
I'll do it my way, alright? I'll do it my way.
No, you're way shit.
Shut up. Carl's been drinking. If he seems like he's a bit tetchy.
I have not been drinking.
The audio people who are not seeing
That's not
this,
beer.
he just took a swig of a giant bottle.
It's not a giant bottle. It's a standard sized bottle.
It looked big on the camera.
It's a normal bottle.
It looked bigger than a normal bottle.
It's a 500 ml standard bottle.
So you admit it exists. Case closed. All right.
No, I mean I admit there is a bottle. I didn't say what the bottle was.
Oh yeah, sure. You're completely sober right now. There's no trickery going on here. But anyway, so he's getting headaches and they're getting worse, and it's kind of weird what was happening to him. He even accidentally calls, one of the crew, like, what was it? What was the name? It was like Vlad or something like that. It was like one of his old crew members from the Stargazer.
Yeah.
It was a V. It was definitely a V name, but and it's like, okay, what's happening to him? And the Ferengi are kind of like, they go on comms. They're meeting with him, and they're like, yeah, we'd like to like discuss a thing. Can we we can come to your ship, we can come to our ship. And Troy's very, I sense some treachery going on here, Captain.
I feel like that's all she ever does.
And he's like, okay, we'll have it here then, so we can control the situation. And they come across. Probably my favorite part of this episode actually is when the lead Ferengi guy is like, "Oh, we've got a present for you," and because it's actually Wesley says, "Oh, there's a reason, there's a ship coming in, off whatever side of the ship," and LaForge is like, "Oh, he's right. There's a small ship here," and it turns out it's a present for Picard. It's the Stargazer because it was lost. They had to abandon it at some point years ago, and he says, "Oh, we're going to give you this to you as a gift," and the other two Ferengi behind him keep going like, "A gift?
What
No
the hell are you
charge.
talking about?
No charge?
Yeah.
Not selling it? What? This is disgusting." Their reactions were kind of cracking me up during this whole scene.
It is particularly because I feel like we've all been in shops where there's like the shopkeepers kind of like that, whereas like all the, like come on, pay up. Like even when you've not you're not even there yet, you kind of decide, and they're like, come on, pay. I'm just trying to rush you through.
Mm,
I got the same attitude from this Ferengi of like, come on,
yeah.
you've got to pay. I don't know why he's giving you it for free.
Well, yeah, I mean, their entire thing being like, you know, like their entire culture is based around commerce, right? Like, that's something we set up in the last time we met them, and they're also still surprised that women are clothed on the starship.
Yeah.
If anything, the only joke there that I didn't like was where they said, "Oh, that's interesting," and then Riker sort of smirks and goes, "Yes, they're very interesting." I'm like, "All right, okay, calm down, Riker, calm down, move a bit far." But yeah, actually, do you know what I really liked in this episode? I liked that Wesley, when he comes to tell Geordi about the ship, right? He comes up out of the bridge and he tells him, and it turns out to be true. But when Picard comes in and finds out about it, he turns around and says, "Hey, Wesley, why didn't you just call that over the comms? Why did you have to come up out of the ship?" And he just outright calls him out and says, "No, you wanted to be on the bridge because you knew the Ferengi were coming and you wanted to be here. You may have jeopardized this, because if that was a hostile vessel that was sneaking up on us, it would have been too late to do anything about it. And your own selfishness, essentially, would have gotten us hit." So I was like, yeah, give it to him, Picard, give it to him.
Yeah, keep that little bastard off the bridge.
Keep him in line. It was such a thing where, like, I thought it was a well done piece of writing, because it felt the sort of thing you do as a kid, where you would go somewhere and you knew you could do it another way, but you did it in a way because you wanted to be there for something else. You know, like, that certainly makes me think of childhood. Like, I remember pulling shit like that. Not about this specifically. I was never on a ship.
I was gonna say this would be very specific.
Yeah, but no, you make sure, even in school, you'd make sure you were standing in the right place, because you knew that would mean you'd get to, I don't know, go first in the queue or something. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of something simple. But it played very natural to me. But at the same time, it was also, fun to see Picard tell him off.
I'll give them all that.
So basically what it is the Ferengi, the lead Ferengi, not all of them, just the one, the Captain Ferengi. He has got this tech, this orb thing, and he's using it to give Picard these flashbacks of what happened and give him the headaches, and ultimately try and make him think he's in that situation again, so that Picard will eventually be on the Stargazer and actually think the Enterprise is the mystery ship and fire upon the Enterprise.
Very convoluted plan, this.
It's very convoluted. And once they found the Stargazer, some of the stuff got beamed onto Picard's quarters, and one of the orbs is there, which is when things really start to ramp up.
Conveniently, that was one of the things they chose to beam over, right? That the chest that happened to have that in it.
Yeah. And I guess it makes sense. Not. I mean, that's convoluted, but I'm just saying. I guess it makes sense in that the headaches were kind of minor at first. The Stargazer comes in and gets close to get worse, and then once that's on the ship and his quarters, it's like, okay, they get really bad.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Don't get me wrong. Just questioning the fact that they chose to pick that specific object. Here, we'll take that back for you.
I don't know, it's a chair. I mean, I did kind of like the scenes of Picard on the Stargazer for the first time, kind of reminiscing and wiping dust off, and he has this attachment to the ship, which is kind of sweet. It's kind of got that, you get the slow version of the main theme plays. There's some things to like in here. What did you think of the episode overall? I usually ask that at the start. I forgot to. Did you like it?
I like a lot of the ideas,
Mm.
and I like the backstory of Picard here. The actual execution was lacking, especially the further on it went.
Yeah, that's fair.
It kind of unraveled as it went on.
Yeah, I would say the final kind of act, if you will, where Picard's went full sort of crazy because of what they're doing to him, and he's on the ship, and it's the others are trying to figure things out, and it's Wesley. Wesley's just this Deus Ex Machina device. He comes in and tells him something. He comes in and says, "Oh, by the way, those waves, those weird patterns, and the brain waves or whatever that Picard's got from his scan, those are conveniently very similar to the things that are coming from the Ferengi ship. There's signals coming, so they put two and two together. They find the orb in the chest." I thought this whole thing felt just kind of rushed. Like, this entire, them realizing it, and even Riker talking him down, because, Picard's almost going to fire on him. He's like, "Hey, Picard, the orb, you have to shoot the orb. This is not you."
Yeah.
He just kind of shouts that a few times, and that essentially is enough to get him to kind of snap out of it and like destroy the orb so that he's fine.
Yeah.
And then we don't even get to see him back on the ship. He just kind of beams away, and that's when we cut to the exterior and the credits start playing. It's a very abrupt ending, I thought.
It is, yeah.
I like the idea. I like how they phrased though that the rest of the Ferengi kind of like take over from the captain. They arrest him, and
they commit some mutiny.
Yeah, I mean, is it mutiny when your captain becomes a criminal? Is that still classed as mutiny?
I think it still is.
That whole, I don't know what you call it, but when the captain's unfit to be in command anymore, so the first takes over. Like that's not a mutiny, though.
It's not in a military ship, but the Ferengi don't have military procedures like that. They don't have the power to relieve them of command. I would have assumed.
Okay, well, that's a fair point. Yes, it's a different race, so they have different rules. But
so I'm gonna go with mutiny.
Okay, I guess it's just 'cause mutiny has this negative connotation where the mutineers are in the wrong because they're. No.
I mean, I don't know. Not necessarily.
Yeah, because we're on their side here, because they're on the right side here. The captain's the villain. But I liked how Riker put it that they arrested him for this because they saw no commercial value.
What it was, yeah.
Yeah, and what he was doing, it was all just for vengeance, which is against their code. And it's like, yeah, that's quite funny to me. Yeah, it's almost like the Ferengi aren't evil. They're just completely neutral, and they're just based on this rule of money. And if it's something that's financially beneficial, they'll be on your side, and if it isn't, they won't be.
So what you're saying is, they're Switzerland.
I was worried with how offensive what you were about to say was going to be. That wasn't too bad, but
yeah, I thought that was pretty tame.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I was worried though. I thought you might go somewhere, but that's okay. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Some other things crossed my mind.
But yeah, so it was an okay episode. Like, it wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't like laughably bad. It wasn't like making me go, "Oh, this is terrible."
No, I didn't hate watching this one by any means.
They tried to buy Data. Actually, that was another funny moment. They tried to buy Data.
They did, yeah. This is probably in the upper half of the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's not been a high bar, admittedly, so far, but
no, but this it's fine. It's pretty standard. I could get through a season of these.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. A couple of funny moments, a couple of character beats that were amusing. Still no Riker sitting down yet. The Riker, and I seen some clips of it. I know what I'm looking for.
Oh, I haven't looked yet.
He does this thing where he steps over the back of the chair.
Does he do it to his chair, or is it just other chairs?
No, it's not the chair because he can't do it in the bridge because there's no like. It's just why he can walk up behind a chair. He kind of like steps over it.
Okay.
And sits down.
So we're not talking like stools here. We're talking chairs with a back.
Chair with a back. Yeah, I mean, it does it to stools as well, but I mean, it's more normal with a stool.
Yeah. That's why I'm assuming that it has a back.
He swings his leg over the back of the chair. It's because he had back problems and it was just easier to sit down that way for him. That's why the actor that is.
Yeah.
But it is noticeable. I mean, again, when it's a stool, you don't really question it, but when it's a chair with a back, it's like, okay, that's a weird way to sit down in that chair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss it. Okay, good. I'm still on the lookout.
Yeah.
Every episode is like, right, give me a damn chair.
We're still watching for this Riker sitting down malarkey. So, yeah. I mean, there actually wasn't that much Wesley in this episode. It's just the two scenes that he popped up in. He popped in to give some exposition. It was kind of weird.
Just really annoying, isn't he?
Yeah, he also has that weird moment where after Troy and his mother leave the room, he has this little moment where he goes, oh, adults.
Adults. Yeah.
I'm like,
what?
Oh my God, he's such a little twerp. Can we shove him at the airlock, please? Can we do that?
At least give him a couple of slaps.
Yeah, Beverly Crusher, slap him down. He's disciplined. Yeah, damn it.
It does.
I'm not necessarily one for child violence, but I'll make an exception in the case of Wesley Crusher.
I approve of this message.
Oh, okay. But that's episode 8. Not too bad. Not amazing, but not too bad either. Some nice ideas. Not a tedious one at all. So,
what's next time?
Next time, yes, episode 9. We do this now, don't we?
You forgot again, didn't you?
I'll remember. Episode 9. Oh, it's called Hiding Q. So Q's back.
Okay.
It just says here simply, the Enterprise encounters Q again, and he tempts Riker by endowing him. Endowing him, how you say? Riker's dick's going to get twice as big. No, he tempts Riker by endowing him with the powers of Q. Oh, okay.
Does that let him sit down like a normal person?
Who knows? But
I feel that was like really vicious considering he still at the minute sits down.
yeah,
like
we've
a
not even
normal
seen him
person.
sit down
I know.
yet. Yeah. So Q's back. I'm intrigued to see this. This at least sounds interesting. He's giving his godlike powers to one of the crew, which could prove entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was Tasha, everything would be a sex dungeon. But
It definitely would. I'll be honest though, it might be with Riker too.
possibly.
That endowed comment you made might not be far off the mark.
It's funny actually because obviously Kirk was the ladies' man on the original series, but it's definitely more Riker in this one. I mean, he's not done anything too Kirky yet, but it's not Picard. Picard's not this ladies' man. That'll be Riker.
Riker's always in there though. Like even in this episode, like you said with the phrase, like they are. They're all right, aren't they?
He's got the jokes, yeah. He was definitely into the love planet last episode.
Yeah, not as much as Tasha, but
she was into
it. She was really into
it. Wesley's actually kind of a weird teenager in a lot of ways. I feel like a lot of teenage boys at that age would probably be like, "Oh, okay, gold mine, yes, love planet, yes. Where do I queue?"
Yeah.
No pun intended.
That's why it took me an extra second there to respond. I was like, wait, what? I was like, you mean just Q.
Get in line. That's what I meant.
I got there.
Anyway, that's episode 8, so we'll see you next time for episode 9. Let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below, which of course supports us as well as liking and subscribing, but you can support us even more so by going to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV and signing up and supporting us for $1 per month or more. You get these episodes, these Star Trek reviews a week early, amongst other things. You can also get merch at the stores. Those links in the description to both the US and the UK store. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching Star Trek and sci-fi stuff, guys. And to everyone but Connor, live long and prosper.